Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, what's up?
Question for you.
Yeah.
Is this your Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living out here in Tampa to be able to afford a Rolls Royce?
I am a consultant.
How long have you been a business owner for?
I've been a business owner for 39 years.
And could I interview you real quick? I go
Sure.
all over the country just asking business owners advice to new entrepreneurs.
Sure.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
Man, I'm not gonna say.
Over $10 million?
Over, yeah.
It's going to be my current year. Making a few million this year, bro. Yeah.
Give me a range.
45.
$4 to $5 million.
Most amount of money I've ever made in a single year, 15 million.
Have you ever been broke before?
Oh, God, yeah. I literally walked into a bank on Saturday and met with the president of the bank on the day he was off and got a loan for $550,000 and opened my first business.
Did you come from a lot of money?
No, I grew up on a farm.
In 60 seconds, how can somebody become a multimillionaire in today's world? We just landed in one of the wealthiest cities in the entire country, Tampa, Florida. And for those that don't know, Tampa, Florida is home to over 60,000 millionaires and nearly 10 billionaires. And we're gonna be going all over the city to the wealthiest areas to ask multimillionaires and people that have grown some of the biggest companies in the entire city how they became successful and how you can start your path to becoming financially free in today's world. So with that being said, let's get this video on the way. Excuse me, sir. Question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever owned a business before?
Yes.
What type of company?
Several.
What was your main business?
I was in the TV business. I was in the restaurant business.
Let me ask you a question. I started the channel in Austin. I grew it to 8 million followers. I go all over the country just asking business owners their best advice to new entrepreneurs. Could I get 1 minute of your time real quick?
Real quick.
How long have you been an entrepreneur for?
My whole life.
What's the greatest lesson you learned about entrepreneurship? A lesson you learned that somebody will not
Take care of
learn.
your people. And the worst thing you can have is have a big corporation take over the company and try and homogenize everything. It doesn't work because they don't care about the staff. You take care of your people, you're going to be successful.
Is that what happened to you?
Yeah, they bought us out. Yeah, I made great money, but
In terms of revenue, what was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
TV stations were doing 30, 40 million. The restaurant was doing 5 million.
Did you ever lose money?
Oh, God, yeah. I had businesses that didn't work. I always tried to have 3 sources of income, 3 different businesses in different categories working to make money.
But a lot of people would say don't diversify. How do you feel about that?
They're wrong because you don't want to have the old classic, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I was in the restaurant business, I was in the farming business, and I was in the television business.
Did you come from a lot of money?
No, I grew up on a farm.
Yeah. So what was the turning point to financial freedom? What did you see that made you want to go out and build a big $1 million business?
Well, my dad was a farmer. He took a risk every day.
How old are you now?
I'm almost 70.
No, you're not. Are you
Yeah.
actually?
I'll be 70 next year.
Are you serious? Real quick, come here. If you lost everything tomorrow, could you make it all back?
Oh, God, yeah.
As a multiple 8-figure earner, what was the best financial advice you ever received?
So when you partner with somebody, we call it the call because any business is going to need cash flow at some point. If your partners can't make the call, when you say, hey, we all need to put in whatever the amount is, if you can't make that call, they don't need to be your partner.
But you were never afraid to take on debt as a business owner.
Oh, God, no.
Why not?
Because it was a different time. You can't do it now. Banks don't do that anymore. I literally walked into a bank on Saturday and met with the president of the bank on the day he was off and got a loan for $550,000 and opened my first business.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
All
I
right, guys.
appreciate
Y'all
you.
be
Have a great day, sir. Thank you. All right, you guys. My guy, Steady, just dropped. Probably one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. But guys, it all comes back to people. Attach yourselves to great people, and remember, people will take you places that money can't. Phenomenal interview out here in Tampa. Let's go get this next one and keep this video rolling. Come on. Excuse me, sir. Question for you. Have you ever been broke before? Have you ever been broke before?
I've been broke before?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've been broke before.
Yeah. And what line of business are you in?
I own a digital marketing company. I'm an investor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I go all over the country just asking successful people how they made it for the younger generation. Could I interview you for the channel real quick?
That's dope, man.
So how long have you been an entrepreneur for?
For about 3 or 4 years, man.
Over these 4 years, what was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
It's going to be my current year. Making a few million this year, bro. Yeah.
Give me a range.
45.
$4 to $5 million.
Yeah.
As a multiple 7-figure entrepreneur, what is the best financial advice that you ever received?
Leverage debt. I think a lot of people are looking to get out of debt, which means you just come from being negative to broke. And then another thing is, if you don't learn how to leverage debt, you'll always be working for somebody else who knows how to leverage debt.
Break that down. How can somebody leverage debt to create wealth?
Let's just say if we leverage other people's money to be able to buy real estate or to start a business, now we have the capability and opportunity to start these businesses and investments. But we can use somebody else's money to start something that cash flows and then pay back off the debt over time. So why am I looking to pay off debt when I can cash flow off somebody else's money and start the things that I want to start without my own money? I like that concept.
You know they don't teach that in school, right?
Yeah, you definitely don't learn that in school.
Did you go to college?
I went to college for like 90 days, and then I dropped out. I'm not that smart, man. I didn't know how to write a 10 to 15 page paper. I kind of quit after they told me how to write a page paper. I'm like, that ain't my thing.
How old are you now?
30.
30.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you became a millionaire?
Like 27.
Do you come from a lot of money?
Nah, I don't. My father died in a car crash when I was a kid, like 1 year old, and my mom, she got taken in jail for a few years as well. So
What was the turning point to financial freedom?
one thing that I know is that everybody do is say that stuff is hard. Starting a business is hard. Investing is hard. Like getting your credit together is hard. Well, it's hard being broke. It's hard being in the same position year after year after year after year. So you got to choose what hard you want.
All right, you guys, this video just got up to an amazing start, and we're headed to go get our next interview right now. But I want to take a quick moment to talk to you guys about one of the greatest lessons that I've learned from interviewing over 1,000 millionaires in the last few years. 8 million followers, called the School of Hard Knocks. We do 170 million views a month. Can I interview you for one minute real quick, right over here? Thank you, my friend. Who am I here with today?
Dave Bautista.
And what industry did you pursue a career in, for those that don't know?
I'm in entertainment. I was a professional wrestler before I was an actor.
And how long have you been in the entertainment business for?
Shit, man, about 25 years.
Throughout your career, what was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
Man, I'm not gonna say, but it's to me it's a lot of money, but I don't want to say it.
Over $10 million?
Over, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you come from a lot of money?
No, I come from a single. I was raised by a single mom, and at times we couldn't even afford food. I'm from kind of the worst parts of Washington D.C., and that's kind of how I grew up until I was well into my 30s. I didn't make any money until I was well into my 30s.
Yeah. What was the best advice you ever got from a mentor? If there's a lesson that a mentor,
As far as financial advice,
anything, life, something that really helped you throughout your career, your life.
well, I mean. There's been a few things, especially when I was wrestling. I had a mentor named Triple H, and there was a couple things he said to me that always stuck with me. And one of the things was, when I first got there, I was so afraid. Like, I didn't want to piss people off. It was a hierarchy thing, and I was so afraid of being disrespectful or pissing somebody off. And one day he said, "Look, man, you want to make money, you want to make friends." He said, "This is a business. You got to look at it as a business. You're a business. You're your own commodity." And so I always thought about myself as my own commodity. I am my brand. And so another thing he said, just always imagine that everybody's pointing a gun at your head. He said, it's up to you how many bullets you give them. And that kind of stuck with me. And financial advice, the best advice that I ever got, which I always offer to, especially to like professional athletes, because a lot of professional athletes, they grow up, not really having much. So when you get all this money dumped on you, you just want to buy everything you can afford. It's not stuff you need, it's just stuff you want. And the best advice that I ever got was actually from The Undertaker, another wrestler, but he said it was advice he got from his father. He said, always live beneath your means. And I learned that the hard way when I was in wrestling. I came out of wrestling, I literally lost everything. I went, I had nothing. My house got foreclosed on, but I had a second opportunity to be successful in the film industry. And so now it's like, like every once in a year, I'll buy something that I want, not something I need, because I've worked really hard and I know that I can afford it, but I'm still believe like I will live beneath my means. I know I can live more lavishly, more luxuriously, but I will live beneath my means, because now that money in the bank means more to me than, something that I don't really need. Like, I don't need a Bugatti. I'd love to have a Bugatti, but I'm not paying $5 million for a car because I don't need one.
Entertainment's very competitive. What did you do to stand out in this industry? What did you do differently from 99% of other people in entertainment that made you become the top 1%?
You got to weed through people, and you're not going to like everybody in the world, but can you do business with somebody? Like, I can do business with people I don't necessarily like, and I understand that, this is a machine. People will use me to make money, and I will not use people to make money, but this in the entertainment industry, like, people will do business with you if you can generate money for them. And I will do business with them. They can generate money from me. So it's all a trade-off. It's got to be about who are you willing to do business with. And a lot of times you're not going to like people that you have to do business with.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. You got amazing advice.
Thank you, brother.
Guys, we just interviewed an absolute legend, Dave Bautista. He's one of the greatest WWE wrestlers of all time. Now he's one of the biggest Hollywood actors, and he just gave some amazing advice, especially when he talked about the advice that his mentor, the legend Triple H, gave him. He said, if you go into business expected to be liked by everybody and you're trying to please everybody, you are never going to be successful. Like Grant Cardone told me when I interviewed him, I don't care if they like me or they hate me, as long as they call me. Great interview with the legend Bautista. Let's go get this next one out here in Tampa. Come on. All right, you guys, so we just got to our next destination out here in Tampa at Eddie V's, one of the nicest steakhouses in the entire city. My guy just pulled up in a Rolls Royce. We got to go see what this man was able to do out here, man. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, what's What's up?
Question for you.
Yeah.
Is this your Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's mine.
And what do you do for a living out here in Tampa to be able to afford a Rolls Royce?
I am a consultant. I'm
Yeah.
a business consultant.
Are you an entrepreneur?
I am definitely an entrepreneur.
How long have you been a business owner for?
I've been a business owner for 39 years.
And could I interview you real quick? I go
Sure.
all over the country just asking business owners advice to new entrepreneurs.
Sure.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
Most amount of money I've ever made in a single year, 15 million.
$15 million. Yeah. Have you ever been broke before?
I was broke for the first part of my life. Then I made millions of dollars, and then I was broke again. And now we've set it up in such a way that that doesn't happen anymore.
What separates middle class from wealthy people in today's world?
Poor people and middle class people feel like everything's expensive because they pay for everything with money they've exchanged their time for, and they feel like they're paying for everything with their life because they are. Wealthy, creative entrepreneurs like yourself, like myself, we pay for things according to our creativity. In other words, we create an offer to pay for everything we buy. So everything costs the same amount.
And do you believe in God?
I more than believe in God. I trust God. So that's, yeah, I believe in God and I trust God.
How important has faith been for you throughout your career?
It's the most important thing in my life.
How did you build that relationship and build that trust in God? Maybe to speak to those people that may not understand the importance of that and how much that's had an
So
impact.
I received Christ as my Savior when I was 16 years old. I started reading the Bible when I was 17. Every success principle that I learned, the very first thing that I do is I go back and look at Scripture and see if it lines up. If it does, I'll follow it. If it doesn't, I ditch it.
You got amazing advice.
Thank
you
you
so much for your time. I
Appreciate
really
it.
appreciate that. So
Good to
thank
meet you, young man.
Hard Knocks family, this video was incredible. My guy Myron, we just saw coming out of the Rolls Royce, just dropped $1 million worth of game for you guys. But I want you guys to like and subscribe for amazing content we've got coming very, very soon. And as I mentioned before, guys, we launched an entrepreneur community, a private entrepreneur community where you guys can connect directly with the multimillionaires and the billionaires that I interview. Guys like Myron, if you want to learn directly from them on live calls and ask guys like him questions, how to start and scale a business, how to create wealth in different industries like real estate, how to market, how to sell, the link to join our private entrepreneur community, the School of Mentors, is down below. I'll see you on the inside of the community, but with that being said, see you in the next video.